10,000 years ago, they vanished from the face of the earth. The woolly mammoth, titans of the Ice Age, giants that once roamed across 3 continents. Gone, but not forgotten. Their bones lie frozen beneath the Arctic ice. Their tusks emerge from melting permafrost, remnants of a lost world. But what if extinction wasn't forever? What if we could bring them back?
I can't believe they're real.
The Pleistocene era, 20,000 years ago, the world was a colder place. Woolly mammoths thrived across the frozen tundra, standing 4 meters tall at the shoulder, weighing up to 6 tons, as heavy as a modern elephant, but built for the cold. Their bodies were evolutionary masterpieces, thick brown fur, layered up to 90 centimeters deep, fat deposits beneath the skin, providing insulation, small ears to prevent heat loss. Those magnificent curved tusks, reaching 5 meters in length, used to sweep away snow and find vegetation beneath. They were not solitary creatures. Mammoths lived in tight family groups, led by a matriarch, the oldest female carrying decades of wisdom about migration routes, water sources, and dangers. Mothers were fiercely protective. Young calves stayed close, learning the ways of survival in this harsh environment. For thousands of generations, they endured, through blizzards and endless winters, alongside cave lions, saber-toothed cats, and our own ancestors. This frozen world was their domain. "12,000 years ago, the world began to shift. Global temperatures rose, the great ice sheets started their retreat, glaciers melted, flooding coastlines. The frozen grasslands that mammoths depended on began to disappear, replaced by forests and wetlands unsuitable for these giants. But climate alone did not seal their fate. Humans were spreading across the globe, armed with sophisticated hunting strategies, fire, and cooperation. Early peoples discovered that a single mammoth could feed a tribe for weeks. The hunting pressure was relentless. Caught between a changing climate and human expansion, mammoth populations dwindled, first in Europe, then North America, then Siberia. By 10,000 years ago, they were nearly extinct. Only a small population remained, isolated on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean. Cut off from the mainland, these last survivors persisted for thousands more years, until 4,000 years ago. While the Egyptian pyramids stood at Giza, while ancient civilizations flourished, the very last woolly mammoth took its final breath. They were gone, vanished from the earth. Fast forward to the 21st century. The Siberian permafrost, frozen for millennia, has begun yielding its secrets. In May of 2013, on a remote island in Siberia, scientists made an extraordinary discovery: a female woolly mammoth preserved in ice for over 40,000 years. The body was so intact, so perfectly frozen, that when researchers extracted tissue samples, they found liquid blood still present in the specimen. This was unprecedented. Intact cells, intact DNA. And in that moment, a question that had seemed impossible suddenly became conceivable. Could we resurrect an extinct species? Enter Dr. George Church and his team at Harvard Medical School. Using CRISPR-Cas9, the revolutionary gene editing technology, they began comparing the mammoth genome with that of the Asian elephant, the mammoth's closest living relative. 99.6% genetic similarity. The plan is audacious. Take elephant DNA and insert specific mammoth genes. Genes for cold tolerance, for dense fur, for fat storage in those iconic tusks. Create a hybrid embryo that carries the essence of the mammoth. The next challenge, gestation. An elephant pregnancy lasts 22 months. A mammoth-elephant hybrid could take even longer. Scientists are exploring two possibilities. One, implant the embryo in a surrogate elephant mother. Two, develop an artificial womb capable of supporting the pregnancy. If successful, 9 years from conception, the world could witness the birth of a creature that hasn't walked the earth in 4,000 years. And the vision extends beyond a single birth. In northeastern Siberia, Pleistocene Park is being prepared, a vast rewilding project designed to restore Ice Age ecosystems and potentially house a new population of mammoths. But this breakthrough raises a critical question. Should we do this? Should we resurrect the mammoth? The scientific community is deeply divided. Conservation biologists point to a sobering reality. Asian elephants, the mammoth's living cousins, are critically endangered. Fewer than 50,000 remain in the wild. Shouldn't we focus our resources on saving species that still exist? The de-extinction project for mammoths could cost hundreds of millions of dollars. That same funding could protect entire ecosystems, could establish wildlife corridors, could combat poaching. Then there are the ethical questions. Do we have the right to resurrect a species that we, as humans, may have helped drive to extinction? Is this redemption or is it hubris? And there's the practical concern. The world mammoths knew no longer exists. The Ice Age climate is gone. Global temperatures have risen. Would these resurrected creatures even survive in today's environment? But proponents offer compelling counter-arguments. The technology developed for mammoth de-extinction could revolutionize conservation. It could provide tools to save critically endangered species on the brink of disappearing forever. Genetic rescue for species with dangerously low populations. Disease resistance for vulnerable animals. The knowledge gained from this project could preserve biodiversity for generations to come. And perhaps there's a moral dimension. Our species played a role in the mammoth's extinction. Perhaps we owe it to them to try. The woolly mammoth has been extinct for 4,000 years, but their story may not be over. At this very moment, in laboratories around the world, scientists are pushing the boundaries of what we once thought possible. In Cambridge, in Seoul, in Yakutsk. researchers are working toward the same goal. The return of the mammoth is no longer a fantasy. It's no longer science fiction. It's an engineering challenge, a question of technique, of funding, of will. It's a question of when, not if, and when that day comes. When the first mammoth-elephant hybrid takes its first breath. When those eyes open for the first time in millennia. When that first uncertain step is taken into a world that has moved on without them. The world will bear witness to something unprecedented. Something that challenges our understanding of extinction itself. This is more than bringing back a single species. This is about rewriting the rules, about second chances, about correcting the mistakes of our past. This is the story of lost species and the extraordinary lengths we might go to give them another chance at life. The mammoths are coming. The question is, are we ready for their return?